Hello everybody, it's Mike here, talking you through the 12 EPs in 12 months. This one is an EP called Old. This track is called I Get the Picture. I don't really remember where the title came from, but I remember writing this melody. I'm trying to remember anything else interesting. I don't even know if that's a keyboard or a guitar playing that melody. Must be a keyboard. The sun can't hold a candle to the moon. So this thing basically was entirely driven from thinking of that song title. Quite often, songs just begin as song titles. The sun can't hold a candle to the moon. A few people have mentioned that there's quite a lot of moon material in Toehider music. I don't know why that is. Wasn't an intentional thing. Now this has Peter Marin playing drums on it, who was in Template with me. We started that band together. I haven't listened to this for a very long time. Looks like I was running out of breath. And everything sounds like the Beatles. And maybe you just feel like rolling like a stone. Obviously that's a Beatles thing because of the flute mellotrons, but it's also, I think, a Chris Christopherson lyric, something about maybe you keep rolling like a stone. But then again, obviously there's the Rolling Stones, and Bob Dylan had roll like a Rolling Stone. Who knows where the phrase Rolling Stone came from? I'm sure you can't really attribute that to anyone, right? So I guess this is like an early example of just noticing a tendency for me to write lyrics as if I'm talking to someone, but really talking to myself. Quite narcissistic, I suppose, or no, not really narcissistic. I don't even know what that word means. Anyway, slide guitar solo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds great. It's like that's this old 70s trick of putting like a flanger effect on the entire mix. That sounds cool. I might have to do more of that in the future. Are you sick of this narration? So that moment of self-realization I used again in many songs. Like most current of which I can think of is this conversation is over. Having the final line of the last verse, kind of having that realization that, oh yeah, okay, I'm talking to myself here. Now, from memory, I think tracking the vocals for this EP, I was really sick. And sick and frustrated. Back then, I used to think it was important to go and set up somewhere else to try and get the vocal, you know, stand in a vocal booth and record the vocals away from the computer, but I don't do that now because there was no point to doing it that other way. This sound effect at the end of this goes on for way too long. It's really stupid. Still, I don't know where that came from. Maybe like the Mars Volta or something, just having lots of sound effects. I don't know. Can't remember why I did this. All right, here's a song called Old, Old, Old. Now, the very beginning of that song, this song, sounds like a Pain of Salvation song that came out a few years after this album came out. This Toehider album came out. I can't remember the name of the song. I think it's on one of the Road Salt albums. And I remember listening to the Pain of Salvation thing. Even it's the riff is not similar at all. It's just the tone of the guitar and actually just the first two notes. Sounds really similar. But this is very much a Led Zeppelin vibe. And lyrically, this song is basically about getting sick of thinking about sex all the time. There's the little John Bonham foot triplet. More just straight ahead 70s rock here, maybe a bit of Black Crowes or something like that. This was in the live set for ages, for years, but we don't play it anymore. What does that remind me of? Right, Nutbush City Limits. Deep Purple land, I guess, here, really. Speaking of Deep Purple, the next song is about as purple as you'll get. So this guitar solo I'm really quite fond of. I mean, it's just, you know, it's a rock and roll guitar solo, but yeah, I just thought some of those chord changes are kind of cool. Again, it's an unnecessarily long chord. Weird ending. Alright, this is a song called Lay Down Mara. And straight away we can hear the Deep Purple influence, particularly the Deep Purple Mark IV influence. We played this one a lot in the live set as well. I haven't done it for years.
Just a woman, and hell, I'm just a man. So you thought you'd say your vows in an attempt to make it right, but it's making things much worse, girl, when you're hitting it every night. It's all the same to you. I just need to know if what they say is true. Well, you know we can do. Lay down, mother, I could change your I know that there's a history, and I know you're duly bound, and I know of your frustration, girl, so does the rest of town. But how can we not live our lives with no reservations or haste? You need attention, it feels so intense, and we can't let it go to waste. And it's all the same to you. I just need to know if what they say is true. You know what we could do.
Bang, 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 bang. Alright, so I think this keyboard solo was played by my friend Richard Allison. I think, or I might have got him to play something and then I manipulated it. Manipulated the MIDI information. But he came out with this, which is very cool. And then the descent is cool. Then the John Lord. This is a Angus Young style solo, really. It reminds me of Let There Be Rock. Ooh. I can't remember if I think I played bass on this. Sometimes I got Amy Campbell to play bass on some of these songs, so I can't remember which ones. Man, this is so Deep Purple. I mean, they... if you ever want to see how much they ripped off people, just go YouTube Deep Purple rip-off, whatever, you know, they used to do it all the time. All bands did back then. Nobody cared. Yeah. You better believe it, baby, baby, baby. I actually did it on the album. That's hilarious. David Coverdale. Yeah. So there you have it. Alright, this song is called To See You Again. This has a little bit of, with a little help from my friends kind of vibe to it. It's also, Salty pointed out that it sounds like, there's another song from Dazed and Confused, the film. It just has this kind of, waking up from a hangover. Like, lyrically, this song I wrote probably when I was about 17 or 18 years old. I was in a band called Flying Circus, and I met a girl who had the same birthday as me, and we were playing out of town. We're still in Western Australia, but because Western Australia is so freaking huge, it was like 5 hours out of Perth where I was living at the time, and she's like, well, once you finish your set, why don't you come? I'm having a party at my house. I think it was our birthday at the time or something. I can't remember what the relevance of why I remember it was. We were both born on the same day, or within a day of each other or something. And I was like, cool. And then I went to her party with the hope of, hooking up and stuff. And I got there and she was so drunk, like to the point where she was just laying on the floor, just kind of with one eye half open, just looking around at everyone. And her friends were helping her, and it was like I didn't want to, because I barely knew her. I just left, and but I don't know. I just was thinking about her like in the next few days when I got back home, and that's the cheesy story behind this song. Back then, I would just fall in love with anyone that would pay the slightest attention to me. Again, I don't know where I've ripped this melody off from.
So I wake up and shiver, pour some comfort in a glass, watch the rain drip through my finger, I watch the whole morning pass. And Lord, I know
That's good.
that you're out there, but just waiting to be found.
Good.
But the rain gets so heavy, and Lord, I hope I don't drown. Sometimes I get angry at nothing. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I've had it so wrong in the past for so long. It's just got to be right this time. So tell me, is this real? And is this how we are supposed to both feel? Can I be sure? 'Cause I can't take no more. Or is it something I just have to believe? So tell me.
Love that drum fill. Peter Marin on the drums, everybody.
How much longer do
Yeah, you can really hear that my voice is kind of struggling here. Like I said in the previous song or whatever, I was sick when I was recording the vocals for this. But as is the task I was setting myself, I just had to get these things done. Kind of feel like this is a common thing that I use. A Lydian outro, Lydian jam outro. I don't know if you know what Lydian is. It's a musical mode. And the return of the flanger effect, I think, on the fade out. Yeah. Cool. The song goes for ages despite not having a real guitar solo. So this song is called Take Your Pick of Stars. Sometimes I've seen it written somewhere as Take Your Pick of the Stars. But Take Your Pick of Stars. This song was inspired by a friend of mine who lost his 2 or 3 week old baby to sudden infant death syndrome, which is awful. And just thinking about that whole time. This was 10 years ago now. It's pretty It's pretty upsetting to think that kid would be 10 years old now. Straight away sort of evokes a bit of a Pink Floyd kind of feel. Guitar solo was probably inspired by Catch the Rainbow by Rainbow from the Live on Stage album. rarely they, I don't know what I said then, and rarely they endue. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Take a lot of liberties with finding words that rhyme. So here we just have that reintroduction of that reoccurrence of the melody that appeared at the start of their album. So I think it started life here. Anyway, that's old for you. Stay with me on the next installment where we look at Toehider 2, which is the debut of the Teen Wolf Easter egg obsession I have with Toehider music. Thanks for listening, guys.